Hey y'all, and welcome back to IAmBeautifulHustler TV. Today is the very last official video for the 30-day Slay series on my channel. Thank you guys for tuning in from video 1 all the way up to now video 30. And today's hair is provided by Westkiss hair. They sent over this 250% density deep curly wig, and it is so full and it is so long. It is a 38-inch, not 38-inch, my bad y'all. It's a 30-inch and it is a lace frontal wig, which is the full parting space from ear to ear, as if you will have frontal in bundles. And the only thing about this wig, the frontal part is shorter than the rest of the wig, but for the style we are doing today, it really does not matter, because we are going to do a zigzag part down the middle with exotic baby hairs with two braids tucked under. So let's just get right into this video. First things first, you already know I went ahead to the ball cap method, and now I'm going to apply the foundation on the wig and on top of the wig. And I'm just going to go in with 4 layers of my Beautiful Hustler lace matte adhesive and get to tacking this wig down. So now that I have all of my layers applied, I'm going to go ahead and pull that lace down into that glue, and then have her hold it on each side as I blow dry it, wax stick and hot comb it into place. And also I'm going to go ahead and cut off the extra lace from around the ear before I actually tie it down with the melt belt, simply because her head was the wig was a little bit smaller than her head, so I had to kind of finesse it on there to fit. So what I did, usually, when I put wigs on, I put the back one first and then I pull it forward. But because the wig was slightly too small for her head, what I had to do was tack the front down in the glue first. And then once I got it tied down with the melt belt, then I pulled it down underneath, down her cap in the back. So I was able to sew it down. Another thing I did want to mention, this lace color was darker than her skin, but of course I finessed it to make it look as natural as possible. And I do that by simply just adding a slightly lighter foundation underneath the lace. Don't go for the color exactly, or make sure you don't use a color that's darker, especially on a lace that's already a little too dark. So I did go in with a lighter shade. I could have used more of a caramel color on her, but I ended up using the honey beige because it was lighter. And like I mentioned again, if the lace is too dark for the skin, go in with a lighter foundation, because if you add dark on dark, it's just going to get even darker. So I try to do that by lightening up. I do that to give off that effect that the lace has been lightened up, but I just use that lighter foundation. So now that I have all of that lace tacked down, I'm going to go back in with that honey beige one more time and tap it against the hairline to make it lighten up. Y'all can see it's slightly lighter than her skin tone, which is actually a good thing. And now I'm going to go ahead and create my zigzag part into her head. You still want to kind of start it off just slightly a little bit off center. That way the zigzag could be actually in the middle, if that makes sense. But once I get my zigzag part in place, I'm going to take my wax stick, apply it all over everything. I'm going to hot comb, including the roots, the parting area, all of that, because you want it to be nice and sleek. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull down the baby hair section, put that in place, and part off. After hot combing each side of the zigzag, I'm just going to go ahead and part it off and plait it. Also, be sure to part off the section across the back, just to make sure you are covering the tracks that's behind that frontal part. And I also just make sure style look even more neater. I like to section everything properly, and you know, again, go in with that wax stick and that hot comb and just get it all sleek. So off camera, I did go ahead and press out the other side as well, so it could be prepped to be braided after, you know, removing that melt belt again. But I am going to spray the Tresemme on that hairline and tie that melt belt down once again. And after it dries, I'm going to go ahead and style the baby hairs first. Simply, well, I realize that I like to do the baby hair first now if I'm doing a braided style, because if you do the baby hairs after, you most likely will have to swoop some hair into the braids, because, you know, just extra hair that's not needed for baby hairs. So I figured out if I do the baby hairs first and then I brush back everything I don't need, I could just braid it down all at once instead of trying to go back in and smooth extra hairs into the braid. So I actually like that method so much better. So now I'm just going to go ahead and briefly show you how I do mine, you know, exotic baby hairs. But I will be having a full tutorial coming up very soon, with, you know, like a full baby hair tutorial on different methods on doing baby hairs as well as different looks. And for today's baby hair method, first I sprayed the hairline with Tresemme on the baby hairs, but I'm going to go in with some Got2b gel and start to swoop the baby hairs up. Now, when you are using holding spray and the gel, it does dry very quickly. So you want to move as quickly as possible when doing this, and also just really smooth, smooth the baby hairs out, because sometimes the gel can make it kind of crinkle up a little bit. I know some people can really relate to that when doing baby hairs, but just really take your time, get it swoop, get it right, and move as quickly as you can, because that gel does dry hard, and that holding spray also dries very fast. And the baby hairs is pretty much complete. This is what it looks like after using the gel and the holding spray in combination. And now I'm just going to spray the hairline one more time and just have her blow dry that really quickly. And now I'm just going to go ahead and start braiding. I just do regular over braids. I like to start from the front, like where the part is, and then go ahead and braid it. But first, before I braid it, I'm just going to touch the roots one more time with that hot comb, just to make sure it's nice and straight, and it's easier to grip when braiding. But I start from the front center of the hair, and I just pull it in as I go along, and I'm just adding a little holding spray to catch any flyaways and to make sure that it's nice and neat. And you just want to braid it all the way down, and I'm just going to spray outside the braid and just make sure everything is neat and laying down. So I'm just going in with the blow dryer, because you don't want it to be like messy looking. You want to keep it as neat as possible. So I just take a little holding spray, spray it on top, blow dry anything that's sticking up and everything like that, and then I'm going to go ahead and braid the other side all the way down. And usually some people leave the braids down, they can add charms, but for today we are actually going to tuck the braids around the back to give off somewhat of that crown braid look. But of course it's not a crown braid because it's not a one braid from all around the head or ear to ear, but we just want to kind of give off that effect. So after I braid this side down, we are going to connect the braids underneath the wig in the back. And we had to kind of like ghetto rig it because we didn't have any rubber bands at that time. So I just end up kind of like tying the two braids together, which would still be easy for her to take a loose if she want to take the actual braids down and just wear the part zigzag regular behind the ear, just a regular wig install look. And of course, now we're gonna go in with that honey beige once again and lighten up that part, clean it up with the foundation, and then I'm gonna go behind that foundation and use black spray to clean up the part also, so it's not too wide as well, and just a little bit. You don't want to make it too skinny, but you don't want your part to be too wide either. So we're just gonna quickly correct anything that needs to be fixed, and I'm just going to go in with some water and just spray that hair up. I don't want it to be soaking wet. I just want it to be wet enough to make the curls pop. And once we get these curls popping and combed through, that will pretty much complete this installation process. So I hope you guys enjoyed the last video from our 30-day series, our 30 Slay series, and I'm looking forward to the next series. I'm going to actually post a post in the community section so we can see what the next series is going to be on my channel. We could get that, get that started, get that going. So thank you guys for showing so much support and love. My beautiful hustler family, I love y'all. Stay tuned to the finished look, and I will see you guys on the next series in the next video. Bye. How many inches, Miss Girl? 30 inch lace. So I sat on his face. I'm from the bottom. I can tell you how the top feel.